All right. Well, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video today. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, it looks like, shout out to Green the Only, a Tesla hacker, potentially a certain word, a combination of words have been spotted in the new Tesla release. And so we'll take a look at it because potentially this can mean that 360 camera, a feature that we've been missing in Tesla vehicles, is finally coming out very soon. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We've got Lewis, Madhu. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining. If you want to get the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there that has all the interest rates or lowest interest rates for financing your Tesla, definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. If you don't know what's been going on very recently, it seems like a big update for a bunch of Tesla full self-driving owners or full self-driving beta owners that has been rolling out to various vehicles. And this seems to be a big one because a lot of people are saying that this update is the best one yet so far. And maybe full self-driving is finally able to be released at a wider release with no bugs or anything like that. And so on the channel, we've certainly been, you know, kind of open about full self-driving, but kind of hesitant because it is $15,000. So unless you really got a money just burning a hole in your pocket, I really can't recommend purchasing full self-driving in that type of capacity at the end of the day. But shout out to Green the Only. He went through the update and saw through about a couple different things. But quote, despite the 11.4.2 release notes not changing from 0.1, the quote, the differences underneath are substantial. Quote, there's now auto wiper version 4 with the ability to disable deep rain, and there's AEB for cut-in traffic for server side toggle, and a bunch more stuff. Full self-driving beta interval is now reduced from 2 weeks down to 1 if you were suspended. But shout out to Tech Viking. He asked this question: if there's a, did you see anything about surround video cameras, or also known as 360 view cameras? Because that's kind of thing, right? Tesla has certainly been out there for a while, and there's a lot of other competitors out there that all have bird's eye view or 360 camera views, and Tesla being a quote luxury car, that's kind of one of the features that Tesla is missing. And I want to say they could easily do it, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm not a developer or a coder, so maybe it's just not on their pipeline. But it seems like it is now, because Tech Viking asked Green the Only if he saw anything or any sort of wording about surround views or 360 camera, anything like that. And Green the Only responded, quote, a bunch of other various most interactive improvements to Eagle Eye, lane occupancy tracking thing introduced in 11.3 and such. But, quote, depending on what you mean by surround view of all cameras, they had the, quote, world around the car all stitched. So definitely really cool stuff. Hopefully this really means that the 360 view, the bird's eye view, the world view is finally coming out soon, and that we will be able to use this, because that's certainly one of the features, one of the things that Teslas are lacking at the moment. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. Thanks for coming in, everyone. Thanks for helping me with that audio debacle beforehand. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for supporting. We are still traveling, as you can tell, not in our home base, but we'll probably be back by tomorrow if you want to join in. But Tapia, thanks for coming in. JT, thanks for coming in. Marks, thanks for coming in as well. We'll get to all the live stream comments in a bit, but let's just run through a couple different topics really quick, because we've also got some Chicago pizza, because we're in Chicago right now waiting for us, or going to be waiting for us very soon. In this next topic, the Volkswagen EX30, which looks to be very interesting in terms of styling and things like that. Looks like there was some pictures or leaked pictures that got released, and I also was able to find some other stuff, maybe that it starts at a lower price that could be lower than the Tesla Model Y. So we'll take a look at it, because you know me, I definitely want to keep my eyes out there and see what other competition is out there. But you know, at the end of the day, we still are a Tesla fan channel. We've got the Model 3, we've had the Model 3, the Model Y, the Model S, and now the Model X. But always got to keep keep our eyes open out there. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best out of Tesla at the best financing. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. Inside, shout out to Inside EVs, Volvo EX30 leaked ahead of official reveal next month. So yes, it is kind of confusing, but there's Volvo electric vehicles and there's Polestar electric vehicles. So Polestar is owned, I guess, by Volvo in some sort of capacity, and there is a Polestar 2 and 3 and something like that. There's a sedan for sure, and there's an SUV, but it seems like Volvo is also releasing their version of the vehicle as well. So in what I was able to find, the EX30 was accidentally leaked through the Volvo configurator, and this is what it looks like. So sharp car. I really like the styling of Volvo and Polestar. You've probably seen Polestars on the road and you're wondering like, oh, what vehicle is that? Because there's really no branding, no labeling of the vehicle, at least for in a small area. And really their logo is just much different at the end of the day for Polestar. But looking to the EX30, it seems like the design traits are just like the flagship EX90, but even of course smaller. And the big thing here is that there's two battery packs, 51 kilowatts and 69 kilowatt battery, so like almost as big as a Model Y, and the latter one will have a range of 298, which is not bad at all. But the big thing that I was taken the back by is that the price of it is going to be right in line, maybe even more competitive than a Tesla Model Y, starting at $45,000. Of course, the cheapest Model Y right now is like 47 and some change, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff with the Volvo EX30. So let me know what your thoughts on. Let me know what you're thinking of. Of course, I would love to see this vehicle in person first and maybe even drive it before making any sort of decisions. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff coming out of the Volvo camp for an EX30. I didn't really know they were coming out with a cheaper SUV. I definitely knew about the EX90 because that one supposedly is a hot seller with selling, you know, the lists and the reservations all selling really quickly, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description is the Patreon link. We support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. All right, what else we got? Thanks for jumping in. We've got we'll talk about two more topics, and of course we definitely will get into the live stream chat as well. But if you're just joining in, welcome. This was the quote that Green the Only, which is a Tesla, I guess he's like a hacker, or I guess someone who dives into the codes of the Tesla updates and things like that. He spotted the word world in the code, which potentially could be in 360 camera, world camera, surround video camera, and a bunch much more. But let's take a look at some of the comments really quickly. Papia, thanks for coming in. Thanks for being first. Thanks for always coming back and hitting the like button in the comments. Hope you're doing well. JT, yeah, 360, yeah, it would be sick if that actually comes out. I mean, knowing Tesla, they'll roll out updates a lot more frequently. Marks, I hope the release of hardware 4 on the Model Ys is more widespread than we know. I'm scheduled to pick up the Fremont Model Y this Monday. I wonder what are the odds it will have hardware 4.0. I would say pretty good odds. What I've been recommending to people, Marks, I know you like to come to the channel, so I'll give you this advice. What I've been recommending is go to Tesla Motors Club. You probably have already been doing this if you haven't, but go to Tesla Motors Club, go to the Tesla Model Y delivery section. It's basically just a group of people just like you and me that are waiting for Teslas, waiting for their delivery orders. And I bet if you go to one of these what's called waiting rooms, it's just people posting back and forth about, I just took delivery now, this is my VIN, it has cameras or not. I mean, let's just take a look right now. So you can see there's a bunch of people here. Okay, so let's see. This one's about to take delivery, hasn't taken it yet. They confirmed it's hardware for at least the Tesla reps, but you know, take that for whatever it's worth. So maybe I should make a quick segment on like how to quickly tell if your vehicle has hardware for before delivery, or I guess like what are the tips and strategies. Maybe we'll pivot really quickly because that's probably a hot topic right now. Tapia, want some pizza? Yes, for sure. But let me know, is there other ways? Because I certainly know you can try and ask your Tesla advisor beforehand. You could try and swing by the shop and take a look at which vehicles have it, which ones don't. So it's really all just kind of like, I guess, like not speculation, but there's like just guessing at the end of the day. But we'll make a quick topic on that just because Mark's you pulled it up. So let's just quickly pivot to here. In this next topic, we're going to talk about how to tell if your vehicle, or how can you try and get ahead to see if your Tesla Model Y has hardware 4.0 or not. I'm going to give you a couple different tips and strategies to see how you can predict if your vehicle, or how you can try and find out beforehand if your Tesla Model Y has 4.0. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to get the access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide with all the best interest rates and financing rates lower than Tesla financing to finance your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to Marks for posting this question. The question was, the comment was, I hope the release of my hardware 4 on the Model Y is more widespread than we know. I'm scheduled to pick up my Model Y on Fremont this coming Monday. I wonder what are the odds that it will have hardware 4.0. So thank you, Marks, for posting this question, because this is where we can get into how we can try and actually predict it. So the first thing, of course, is to ask your Tesla advisor, your so-called Tesla advisor. If you didn't know, the text message, the phone calls that you call in, it actually goes to a call center, or at least it goes into a bucket for your delivery location. And really, there's not one person that responds back to you. It could be plenty of other people that respond back to you by the end of the day. And so that's why you kind of get differing answers every single time you ask some sort of question, because it's not always the same person. Of course, if you know someone at the Tesla advisor or Tesla store, then that's a different story at the end of the day. The second one is trying to go to your local Tesla store, especially your delivery appointment, going to the lot, seeing if there's vehicles, Model Ys on the lot already that already have 4.0, and trying to take a look at some of those VINs, because it does work in order in terms of VINs, in terms of the number consecutive and all that stuff. So if there's vehicles out there that have Tesla Model Ys that have the hardware 4.0 and your VIN is after that, then there's a good chance that you will have 4.0. The next way is, once your vehicle actually arrives, the same thing. You can try and ask your Tesla advisor, or even try and go to the store a little bit beforehand to see if you can actually figure out if you have the hardware 4.0. And there are ways to figure out whether your vehicle has hardware 4.0 just upon pictures versus not. I definitely saw a thread yesterday for, comparing and contrasting what the pictures look like. You can probably just Google it to see, because I think like Kilowatts was able to get before and after between hardware 3.0 and hardware 4.0, and it's really just a bigger camera sizing at the end of the day. The last one is kind of like not necessarily a hack, but there is this forum called Tesla Motors Club. There's sections on it for Model 3, Model Y, S, and X, you can imagine. And if you go to the Model Y section and then go to the sub forum, a section of ordering, production, and delivery, there's plenty of threads in which there's people just like you and me posting on here with current orders or just taking delivery. You can see like it's called waiting rooms, and this is a collection of people that are about to take order or have pending orders. So there's always periods of times in here where people will post stuff just like this. They just got their VIN, they got their delivery day, or they might even just taken delivery and they confirm it has hardware 4.0, and they'll even give you a segment of their current VIN so that you can try and predict, like if you're Fremont just like they are, or the production of the factory, if you're Austin, and seeing if your VIN is after the VIN, then there's a good fingers crossed likelihood that you will also have the hardware 4.0 after that. So let me know if some of those tips, or if you've got extra tips on top of that, and to see if there's any other ways to try and figure out if you have hardware 4.0 or not. And I know a lot of you out there are probably going to try and get hardware 4. And so if there's other tips out there that you've known that actually works, especially in this short period of time, because this is only going to be probably a 1 to 2, maybe 3 week window, because then all Tesla Model Ys will happen after that. But just like Model 3, this is probably going to be the same thing that's going to be happening for the Model 3 after that. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate for your Tesla, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages at a certain level. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right. What else we got? What else we got? Let's see. Pizza's coming soon. Tapia, you want pizza too? Yeah, exactly. How do you love your Model X so far? Love it. You know, great car, very comfortable. But it's funny. I will say that you know, the Model X is the most expensive Tesla we've owned so far, and it's certainly the most problematic, or maybe the build quality isn't as good. Like the front wheel well trim is hanging out, and the Falcon doors glitch all the time. I do have a service appointment set up, so we'll see if they can fix it, and hopefully they will, fingers crossed. But definitely been an interesting ride so far, but you know, I still love it. Still a great car at the end of the day. But yeah, besides that, those are the two things. In this next topic, we're going to talk quickly about how much it actually costs to charge your Tesla at home, and also some of the costs, or the projected costs, how to get to that step, on how you can even install chargers and get to that level, or at least our experience on how much it actually costs to set up a charger at our home. So, but before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best UI in Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. The reason why I wanted to talk about this video is because we saw this headline, and it talks about how this survey, which is the KPMG survey, revealed that over 50% of people are considering to switch to plug-in alternatives versus gas vehicles. But another survey from JD Powers revealed that a lot of owners, a lot of prospective people, are just really confused about charging. They don't know the cost, and then also a lot of them, after they buy the vehicle, are a little bit upset, or at least, here's the quote: owners with portable or mounted level 2 chargers say the cost of charging was the key reason for their dissatisfaction. So of course, dissatisfaction could be a number of things, but probably the biggest thing is if you don't have the right expectations set up of how much these things will actually cost, then that's where you could get upset. Or maybe it's because rising utility rates. Electricity has risen a lot, especially in California over the past couple of years, through a number of different things. And so that could be where they probably were thinking that buying electricity, or buying an electric vehicle and paying for electricity would be a big savings, but maybe it isn't as much savings as they were accustomed to. But the first thing is, so we'll talk about charging. So the first thing is, when you buy a charger, especially if you go with like a Tesla one or maybe another brand, that's going to cost you anywhere from $400 to $600 a month. Hard cost. There's nothing you can do about that unless you buy a used charger from like Facebook or something like that, but just don't get scammed or anything like that. The second thing is, if you go for installation, can cost anywhere from as cheap as $350 in Los Angeles all the way up to, I've heard, $1,500 to $2,000. And the reason why I can get up to $1,500 or $2,000, because of like distance from the box to, or your electricity line to the box, or if you need to upgrade your amp or your power breaker, then that could also add on costs as well. So anywhere, I would say, from $500 to $1,500 is about a good average cost at the end of the day. The last one is, a lot of people just don't know how much they pay for their kilowatt rate at home. So I would certainly recommend you look that up, get your most recent utility bill, and see how much is your utility rate at your house. And right now in Los Angeles, we pay anywhere from 22 or 19 cents to 27 cents. I know that places in OC, Orange County, can go anywhere from 40 to 80 cents. And so here's of course is the average based upon all the different states out there. And it's pretty easy after this. The Tesla Model Y has about a 70 kilowatt battery range. I think the Model 3 is about similar. You can essentially try and take that kilowatt battery range, so let's say it's 71, times the average price of the state or average price of the kilowatt in your state times 70 times that, add a little bit of a buffer, about 10 to 15% on top of that, and that's about how much you're going to be paying for to charge your vehicle or charge your Tesla in that. So let's say we take one, for instance, like let's take New Jersey right here at 15.64%, $15.64 times 70 kilowatts. It's going to be about let's see, no, that can't be right. 70 times 0.1564, about $11 to fill it up, went from 0 to 100%, give or take, at the end of the day. So you can use that roundabout number to go. If you're going to go 300 miles, it's going to cost you about $11 to charge it up in New Jersey. So hopefully that clears it up. You know, there's certainly different ways to save costs a little bit more. I've always recommend going to Yelp and finding good electricians, good EV installer electricians in your area. You can pretty much send a bajillion quotes all at once by using Yelp. And there's also state level incentives, or even maybe local utility level incentives, to try and get some of that money back. But just read through some of those programs a little bit more. We're still in the process for LA and have not been able to get it 100% back, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. All right, let's see. I think that's pretty much it, but thanks for coming in, everybody. Thanks for dropping by. A couple announcements on the channel. We are running a giveaway for Electron EV charger. So if you want to join into that, go to the community page on our YouTube channel, scroll down just a little bit to this post right here, and this video right here is where you can watch the video and follow the steps to enter into that giveaway. And we are giving away this mobile charger by Electron for your Tesla. So if you're interested in winning that, definitely check out that video. Marks, I asked them if they could look at my car to see if they had the red reflection lenses, but I guess that my car is not there yet as of today. Yeah, it still could be a while as well. And also, forgot to mention, down below in the description, there's discount codes for Tesla accessories, and we got Jawa, Tamai, MAGBAK 3D mats, and 3D mats USA if you want to save a little bit more on Tesla accessories. And if you are on the fence about buying a Tesla, or you haven't placed your order yet on an inventory vehicle, please, we would appreciate if you use our Tesla referral code down below in the description as well, because if you use that, you can get Tesla supercharger miles for your Tesla as well. Just got my Model Y Performance. Cost me $10 to charge from 10 to 90. I'm only getting 170 miles in that charge, 80% use, 170 miles, and I drive normal. Yeah, that seems pretty low. But also, what state are you in to only pay $10? That's not bad at all, Z. So I mean, but maybe you drive normal, so you're in chill mode, non-sport. I saw in Tesla Motors Club a VIN with theirs has 4, so you might be good. Wait, no, theirs is a little bit higher than yours is lower, right? 788. Theirs is 790. Okay. So you can kind of guesstimate how many cars that is. I mean, I don't think it's exactly that many, but yeah, I mean, you definitely want to be after their VIN, but if you're before, hopefully. So I would say scour the Tesla Motors Club thread and keep going back pages and pages to when like that hardware 4.0 announcement was announced, and see if any of those have the hardware 4.0 at the end of it. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Thanks for